Hello, Strangelings. Welcome back to my parlor. Of course, we're here for another Monday reading. It is hot as hell today. I wore this actually with my last stream, and it didn't really work because I wore it inside the edge of the bonnet, and my hair kind of absorbed up all the cool. So, you guys are going to get to see it today. This is my cooler bandana. It's got these puffs in it, the silicone gel beads, or bead, yeah. I think I said that right, who knows. It is hot today, guys. My brain is not wanting to fire off at all, really. I considered the possibility of not doing this video, but then again, I was like, hey, you know what? There's no reason not to. I've got some scents going already. Today I've got, on the cone, I've got some sandalwood and lavender in the hand. I'm in a desert and I'm a forest dweller, so I have to keep myself super hydrated. Alright, I've already got this out, so I'm going to go ahead and do the beads really quick. Okay. So, sorry, I had to take my OBS out of studio mode because I don't need it in studio mode. I'm not changing the camera angle anytime soon, so. The object here is I do not want to be touching the beads at all. You see, oh, sound like 4. You see when, oh, that's a lot more than 4. Huh. Interesting. So guys, we have a baby deer. We could be talking to somebody who, for instance, has a deer as a spirit animal. Could be somebody who is a hunter and favors deer. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 faux diamonds. We have lightning encased in a blue. I'm gonna just call it blue because I don't know that I have a darker blue. I think there's only one kind of blue for these beads, so I'm just gonna call it blue for now. We have the number 8. Then we have X, E, and O. So not sure what all that quite pertains to, but hopefully the person I'm actually supposed to be reading this for catches it and they know it well enough that they know that they know exactly what these mean. Blue lightning, O-X-E. X-E-O, sorry. I was reading them upside down, I know. And in the wrong order. The pollution has been pretty bad lately, guys. I didn't really try much for an expectorant yet. I did take one puff, but Unfortunately, that's wasn't enough to knock much loose, so today's a really hot day, so I'll be probably relaxing most of the day, and I'll take some expectorant later to loosen it up so that I can breathe a bit more freely. God, sorry guys. Being a sensitive in this way is really, I'm not going to say necessarily a burden, but it's definitely hard. Because it's harder to really breathe well when pollution is heavy, and the only time pollution isn't heavy where I'm at, because I'm near 2 major city centers for the country, so where I'm at, the only time pollution is low is when it's precipitating, whether it's snowing or raining or foggy. It's the only time pollution is low around here, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. The moon. Page of Cups. Okay. So, what are you trying to do there? All right, so this is up to present. So I'm talking to somebody who actually had a tendency to do the wrong things, do the bad things. You were involved in some clandestine stuff, or, you know, maybe you grew up, and this is not judging, guys, but maybe you grew up, I don't know, in a gang. Maybe you grew up in a family that was was members of a gang, and so therefore you grew up in that lifestyle, and, you know, understanding that as how the world works. I'm not sure, but you weren't necessarily a child who looked out for the best outcome for, well, really anybody else. However, this made a small life of abundance for you. You were starting to understand how to get your resources in this way, and you were even understanding how to use your resources properly and such. However, it has turned you into someone who's become somebody who feel like they've been abundant, sure, but they also feel like they've been rather lonely, cut off from anyone else around them. In this card, you can see below his castle tower that he's standing in, there is a little village. There's a building over here, one right here. There's a little village there. So he's not necessarily alone, but he feels kind of cut off from everyone else. And he's wondering, maybe wondering of wandering. Perhaps he's wanting to see the world, maybe explore other avenues of what could be his life. So, someone who grew up in a not necessarily what was the word I just had in my head? Again, guys, no judgment here. I mean, there are people who have families who, you know, there are international jewel thieves who have families. And they might actually grow up and follow in their parents' footsteps. Not that their parents wanted them to. Not that that's the life that they were sketching out for their kid. None of that. But, you know, this is where we start from today into your future. Okay. My shin feels like it wants to Charlie right now, guys. So what I feel like I'm seeing here is I feel like I'm seeing that whoever I'm talking to, you have a lover, you have a partner, someone who you purposefully included in your life for that particular, you know, reason. You know, somebody who it feels kind of weird because this person doesn't feel like somebody who's malicious or evil or anything like that. And I don't know necessarily that you feel particularly malicious or evil. No, it feels like you are going to decide to travel and you're going to take this person with you. But in your travels, either they become or you find the vestige of an empress. Someone who is very regal, but nurturing and slow with life. And this turns you into a hermit. It makes you go within yourself and even more. I don't normally do this, guys. This read is a little difficult today. I'm not sure what's going on, so getting a little clarity here. This is normally something I only do when I'm doing it for myself. Okay. Alright, but why? What is up with that, though? I don't understand. One moment, guys. I'm trying to understand what my brain is trying to tell me here, but I don't know what I'm seeing. So, this is really... This is the first time I have done one of these mock readings, and it's only a mock reading because I don't have the quadrant in front of me. And y'all know that collective shit doesn't fly here. I'm a gypsy scientist and a member of a tribe that started tarot, you know? So there's a very specific way I do it. And build your own stories is not it. Okay. Oy. Alright, what is... I need some clarity here. Temperance. He's back again. And that's back again. So, whoever I'm talking to, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive, and I'm not judging, but it seems like you're kind of a greedy individual. Temperance here suggests, of course, patience and reinforced strength. However, it's the cups that are pulling me. This is a lover who's trying to pour back and forth into your cup. Yet, your cup seems to be the important one on your mind. And you have so many, but you're not seeing the bigger picture and noticing only how many you don't have. So I think in this journey, you will take your lover, and through this journey, your lover is going to learn this about you. She, or he, excuse me, will become an empress. Will grow into an empress. Someone who knows what's at stake and knows what needs to be done. Someone who is willing to take care of those she needs to help her. You know, that kind of thing. However, you will become a hermit. Unfortunately. And I am going to actually add these since this was clarification here. It's right here, because this was clarification specifically to what happens from here to here, because honestly the feeling I was getting was it was either your lover will evolve into an empress, but somehow that will leave you in the mode of being a hermit, or you are going to meet an empress and that will turn you into a hermit. But none of that made sense. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So, okay, I know you're falling pickup cards and all, but come on. I did see that though. I'm not gonna put that in this reading because you guys didn't see it. You guys don't know that that was how it was. If you were sitting here, you would have seen it. However, it says the key nearby is a certain augury of success, but if surrounded by unlucky cards, is a prognostication of illness. Okay, that was really far away, and this is not a good reading. So, I know I said that you may have grown up in the type of family that clandestine activities were normal and such, but it might be that you achieved something, possibly even this lover, with lies. And that, while in your naivety, you saw it as a blessing and even learned how to maneuver with it well and right to become more honorable. Because I don't read him right now as dishonorable, and I read him as innocent, as like a child, which is why I interpreted this as your very beginnings. So we can't really achieve love by lies, though. That's only a false love that will, once the lie is exposed, prove to be a problem instead. Okay, that was a lot, guys. 6, to be exact. Oof. Doing a whole reading on the toss cards too? No, man. I was hoping to save the hours-long readings for when I'm doing them personally. And yes, guys, that is my way of saying that I am going to be doing personal readings on Discord. However, you have to hit me on Discord to find out all the details and such. It will be something that has to be scheduled, so I do kind of expect you to keep a schedule if you're going to get a reading. I am somebody who's been doing this for 42 years of my life, so I am as a pro. Okay, well that was only 2 and they're both side up. Alright, well this one came out first. And right on top of you. Oh, the coffin foretells acute illness and or loss of property when near the person. So I went to pop this wrist and this one popped instead. And now that one did. So it seems like there's an illness here. I don't know if that's physical illness or a mental illness or just sick of the way the world is going for you. But an illness nonetheless. The road turned to the dark clouds foretells misfortune. But far from the person, the evil consequences may be averted. So, yeah. So normally I'd put these here, guys. These are clarification for what's going on with the chariot. So yeah, it looks like you've got an illness and misfortune, but you can avert the evil of the misfortune. Clouds with the dark side toward the person indicate divorce. Bright side towards the person ensure domestic happiness. So it looks like it was this way, guys. So it looks like, yes, this is a separation from the lover. Your lover is going away. And it looks like, I'm not gonna lie, it may be something that you have, for lack of a better term, earned this lesson for. It looks like you maybe have been more greedy than you might have realized. It looks like you've been a little, I don't know if you're resource selfish, if you're time selfish, if you don't give emotion to this partner, but somewhere in this connection you have been selfish, and your partner through this journey is going to realize how much they've had to go through. And the truth is, guys, let me pour myself some tea here. One of my bags ruptured, so I've got herbs all up in my tea. But I've never had a problem with that. Kids used to say I ate lawns because I used to eat herbs out of the grass sometimes, if I knew there was no chemical treatments on there. So, yeah, it looks here like you're someone who has been, probably not on purpose. It's very likely that this is, a defense mechanism, because a lot of people who avoid a connection, whether it's an emotional connection, whether it's a monetary connection, a lot of people who avoid connection have some kind of trauma with that type of connection. So I'm not going to say you're a bad guy for doing what you did, but I am going to say that, if you don't want to do the time, then don't do the crime, right? If you understand that being connected in a relationship is super important in certain ways in your relationship, and you're not committing in that relationship in that way, buddy, you want to buckle down. Especially if you're in a relationship where the other person is. If this is because of the fact that they are giving into you, but you're not really giving into them, well then yeah, this is something you bought and paid for. I don't want to be that guy, but that's how it works. So I really, really, really hope whoever this is for, it actually does get to them. Because if it doesn't, oh man. If it doesn't, that's hermit, If it doesn't, that's where you're at. This is a warning that if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, those feet you keep stepping on are going to start walking away instead. Well, that last part kind of hit me emotionally, and I don't know why, but Alright, guys. This is your reading. Hopefully this made sense for someone. Hopefully. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully this gets to the person it's meant for, because if not, I am so worried for whoever you are. This is not going to go as well as you like. Oh Lord, guys, I just started tearing down before even taking the picture. I am so sorry. Hold on. Hold on, guys. See, I'm so emotional that I forgot that I needed to take a picture for you guys for the end. Okay, this was like this, this. I had Temperance, King, and this guy. 1, 2, right about where they're supposed to be, and 3. Yeah. See, that's before I do take this picture. That's kind of why I put the 3 toss cards, or how many ever toss cards come out, up here in this way, is because they tend to seem to be clarifying the conjunction between I'm sorry, the junction between the conjunction is them coming together. Alright guys, I'm glad I didn't throw the beads in yet. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this up for you guys. I have a salad today. I made myself a big giant salad to eat after this. And dear God, I'm gonna listen to these cicadas, watch some tube, and do just that. So, guys, remember, it doesn't matter who you are. I love you. Take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video.